My name is Eincrou. I am the guy who's doing this final farewell extravaganza, and this is the last day. Welcome to the last day of my producing videos with any kind of regularity for the YouTube. The people of YouTube have spoken very loudly and very clearly. I get the message. You guys don't want me to make any videos because if I do, you're not going to watch them in very large numbers. So, very well. I accept that. So what I'm going to do today is play another one of my favorite Windows games. This one is going to be Solitaire. I'm going to explain how it's played, and I'm going to demonstrate the game for you all. And hopefully I'll have a little bit of fun in the process, because I gotta at least have some fun in case nobody actually watches the video. You see how that works? Wouldn't want to be wasting my time, now would I? So we begin a game with, well, let's start with beginner. So what the idea of this game is you want to get a full, I don't know the correct card terminology, man. I'm not a card game hound. But you want to get a full suit matched up in order by value, starting with the king at the top, all the way down to the ace at the bottom. And with one suit in Solitaire, this is extremely easy. Easy to the point where I don't even think it's possible to ever lose, no matter how terrible you are at the game. So, all you gotta do is just keep matching these up, right? From high to low. And that's very easy to do with only one suit. And I expect that I will be able to get a completed suit from top to bottom before the end of this round, and I run out of moves. So, keep on matching things up where they can be matched. I don't think I need to explain anything in any more details yet. It's very simple. Fours go underneath the fives go underneath the fours. And yes, you can move stacks, of course. Let's see. So I can complete this. There we go. And so they get put down here on the bottom, and all those cards are removed from the field, which is very important when you get to more difficult games. But in this game, it's more of just a convenience. You just keep moving stuff. Now these blank spots, you can put any card there. This is not like regular Solitaire, aka Klondike, where you can only put kings there. You can put whatever the hell you want here, and that's going to allow you to advance down into these stacks. Hopefully find cards that will allow you to keep progressing. Alright, and so now I have reached an impasse. There are no further moves, and if you want to make sure there are no further moves, you press M. If it highlights this stack here, that means you want to click the stack, because there are no further moves. Or it might mean you want to undo a few moves and try and do things a bit more optimally, but there's no need to do that with only one suit. We'll talk about advanced play later. So I've got a 5 here, and I've got 2 4s. Now which one do I want to actually use? If I use this one, I can unlock a spot to put an ace underneath this 2. And I do have an ace here, which will get me a 6, which I can put here, which would unveil this underneath here. And I've also got these 2 jacks. I've got the 10, so that's another possibility. So these are the kind of things you want to think about. And here it doesn't matter so much, but I do know that moving this 4 instead of this 4 is going to help me more, because I already have a empty king, and so I don't really need another one. Let's open up this 2 where I can dig deep into here and do this kind of move and that kind of move and that. And there we've got 2 open spots, which is very good. These are kind of wild card spots where I can move any cards. I can move like this 7. Also, the stacks depend on cards being in order, so the most I can move in this particular stack is starting at the 7. I can move the 6, of course. I can undo that with Control Z. And I can move the 7, but I can't get at the 6. Invalid move. You see what it's saying there, man? So that's something to consider when it comes to making these moves. Alright, so let's get this going here. Alright. Making some progress. So I can move either this jack or this one. I think I'd rather unlock this so that I can make some moves to hopefully clear this one off the board. Alright. So I'm going to use this ace that's already stacked up here. So I can make this move, clear that. Okay. Get into the stage where I'm going to need to move into blank spaces. So I want to move in such a way that it's going to be a good setup for the future. Let's make that move. Let's make this one. Oop, that's pretty good because I can put that right back. We've got a stack that's movable on its own, and that's not so great. Another 9. We didn't really need another 9. Now at this stage, if it was a 2-suit game, an intermediate difficulty game, I would do some reversing and try to get more optimal moves, but I'm just going to go with this, accept this. And if I press M... Oh, okay. I didn't realize I could do that. So I have a few more plays left before I have to bring on a new stack. Now the only thing I've got available is this, which is obviously not too useful, so we won't make that move. And the object is to use as few moves as possible. You can see the move counter here. The more moves you make, the lower your score goes, as demonstrated. See? Just lost 1 point. So you want to make as few moves as possible. Alrighty, what do we have here? What's looking good? What's looking promising? Well, I would definitely like to get this 10 off so we can access that. This is a better move with this 8 rather than that one because of the fact that I can immediately clear. Right. So we have 3 7s. Which one do I want to use? Probably doesn't really matter. In fact, I'd rather investigate this here. Ragtime. Oh, I can't sing or anything like that because of the fact that I'm using live vocal processing with OBS, and there is a slight latency with that, so my singing would not be in time. Well, it would be in time. I'm not that terrible at singing. I do have a sense of rhythm. It's just the video itself would not be matching things up synchronously with how they actually happen in reality. I'm getting to a spot here where things are being uncovered. I'm progressing well. However, you need to keep in mind the fact that to do a new stack of cards, you have to have a card covering up all of the blank spots. So I can't actually do this right now. So I could potentially get myself in a situation where everything's lined up nicely and neatly, but I don't have cards in these blank spots. That's a problem because then I have to move cards like this to make sure I'm filling all the blank spots. Just useless moves, right? So what I want to do is avoid having to make useless moves, which then lower my score. So I'm going to make sure that I do this properly in such a way that's going to enable me to unveil the next row. And you do have to unveil the next row because you need to do all the cards both on the field and in this dealer's hand, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so even though I can make this move here, and that completes a stack, that would leave me with 2 open spots, and I'd have to waste 2 moves to fill those up. So I am going to choose not to do that. And I'm going to just do this right now. And count on being able to make that move very soon. And I can do it right now. There we go. So I need to be aware of the same situation. And make sure that I'm not screwing myself over. So let's do some things that are not in order and get them in order. This. So this ace is out of order, so we will stack that up there. Put that there. Everything here is in order, or it's just a stack of 1. Alright, so let's just power through this round. There's no way that I can possibly lose this game. None whatsoever. Let's see. I'll make this work. And you try and do things in such a manner that you can clear with the least number of moves necessary. So that works. Got a bunch of kings on top of nines. Oh, I think this is a remix. Yeah, a remix of Tifa's theme. Yeah. Very familiar theme to me that I've heard very recently, though. Can't say too much about that because it'd be spoilers. I don't want to spoil the rest of today for you. So I did have to make a useless move. I wasn't paying enough attention. Right. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up and winning the game. Usually I'd put some thought into how to best do that, but here I'm just gonna kind of wing it. This game is another mindless game, for me at least. There are moments where it does take some thought. You gotta sit back and take a look at the situation and see what you gotta do. But that's never gonna happen really here, unless I want to make the absolute fewest number of moves necessary to win, and I don't really want to do that for this demo. Okay, so we won. So let's get into a more difficult game. This is how I usually play. Intermediate difficulty. And in this, you have two suits. Excuse me, taking a little bit of a sip there. So, the way to win here is the same as before, except it's complicated by the fact that you need to get like suits all lined up nicely and neatly. And when you want to move things around, the suits have to match up. They have to not only be in order, but the suits have to match. However, unlike regular Solitaire, you can make unmatched suits stack. So I can do that, though I wouldn't ever want to do that because I got two red 7s, and that is definitely preferable. So let's start with making this move. And we can keep moving. I don't really know which of these 7s was better to do. If I get completely stuck, then I can go back and try again. In this game, difficulty, you do have to use the redo button, or you probably aren't going to win, because it is possible to lose here. Alright, so now we're getting to a situation where I want to make some unmatched stacks. So I can do that. It doesn't help me, so let's try this one. Alright, we got a 10 of hearts. We can try this. It gives me that. Ooh, that's pretty good. So I get saved from that unmatched stack. Go like that. Oh, there was another 5 I could have tried, but yeah, I'm going to try that. Oh, another 10. Well, I've got a 9 of hearts here, so we can look forward to using that one. Let's see, any other moves? Just this one. And we can match this up, which gives us a 4, which gives us a 3, which gives us this. So we're doing very well this game, and gives us a queen of hearts. Doing very well this first round. It's always nice to have a first round where you get all the way to the bottom in at least one, or near it in several. So this is good. And we can further match this up. Kind of hoping to get a king. We can try this. That gives me a free spot. Let's see what's underneath here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now I can do this. And I can actually complete a stack, whoops, on the first round. That is pretty rare. Usually you cannot do that on the first round. Alright, so we're looking pretty good here. We've gotten very deep in all of these stacks. Let's bring out the next round of cards. Let's keep going. This is a beautiful song. What is this, Final Fantasy XIV Field Tracks? Ah, Final Fantasy XIV version of the Prelude. classic song. Incredibly simple song. I'm surprised that Nobuo Uematsu was the first guy to just do arpeggios like that. Or maybe other people have done that arpeggio before, but he came up with the melody. The melody that goes over top of it. Unbelievably just entrancing. Especially the choral versions. This one has a little bit of a chorus to it, and I like it. I like it a lot, man. Alright. So I pretty much ran out of good moves there. Bring out the next round of cards. Actually, that's not as good as moving this 5. Things are getting a little bit unruly here, to be honest with you. We're still doing just fine, but getting a little bit ugly. Okay. I can do this. I can inspect this, see if there's anything good. That's actually pretty good. Actually, yeah, that's gonna work fine. And I can complete this. Yep, I can complete this. Ooh, and that gave me an 8 of spades, which is perfect. Yeah, I think that this game is pretty much won already. It's those really tough games where you get to like the second to last or even the last stack and you had none completed that are really nasty. And it is possible to win those, but sometimes it takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of trying to go down different routes. But I like those games when I can really think about it rather than just mindlessly stacking cards. So I think that's... Nope, that move too. And there's no shame in using the moves, the M button to show you what moves you have, because it's not about like seeing, oh, I can match this with that. That's not what the game is about. It's about making the correct moves and stacking things in ways that are going to set you up for success. It's not about simply making matches, okay? So don't feel bad about using the M button even when you become an expert at this. So there definitely don't appear to be any good things I can do. So I think I'm going to just move that so I can explore down there, hopefully this round. No, I just got a king put on top of it, so that's not good. But it's better than having the king put on top of this. Because then I'd have to make a useless move to get the king off of there. Alright. Any aces of hearts around? Here's one, but I'd have to split that off, and I'd rather not do that. That's an extra move that I would have liked to avoid. It looks like that's what I'm going to have to do here. Oh, crap. I need to move the 4 first. I mean the 3 first. So gotta make a few moves that are not quite... Oh, I don't have a 3 of hearts. That's not gonna complete. I have to make a few moves I'd rather not have made, but it'll be okay. No access to a jack of spades. No access to a 3 of hearts. These are the situations you get into sometimes where you just are dying for specific cards. Let's see what's under here. Under here, okay. Not great, but it's at least something we can work with. Now I need to do a bit of unmatched stacking just to dig into here. Did not find anything useful. Let's try another. Ah, shoot. Not super useful right now. I'm still not able to get a second free slot either. Oh, a little bit of corruption in that MP3 file. Whoops. So I think what I want to do is just I'm gonna get to a position where the next round I can hopefully clear this. I need a 3 of hearts. Got one. So what can we do? This seems reasonable. And we'll just go and clear this. Get myself some extra room to work with. We did get that Jack of Spades. Make this match. I can clear this, and I can put that there, so we'll have another free space. Or I could do this, which is even better. I'd like to dig into here and get into these covered up cards, so let's perfect this a little bit. I could hit this 4, stack that up nicely. Alright, we're gonna have to just move that. Get these queens up with their kings. The queen belongs with her king. And getting to the point where I'm gonna have to just bring out the last round of cards. Now, the thing I wanted to point out here as we do this last round of cards is that it is possible for me to lose still. As well as I've done, I got a bunch of things nicely and neatly in order. Got 4 already completed. It is still possible for me to lose because there's a very rare scenario where if the cards that come out of this stack get dealt out in such a way that I have no moves on the top level or on the bottom level, because remember, it deals them to the bottom, but if there are no moves I can make to match up the bottom cards or to move the cards that are already there, then you can get to a spot where there are no moves left just because of the way they came out of here, and you lose. Doesn't matter what you did prior to that. And I actually saved a particular game where that happens, but I don't really have it set up to show you. It's just you gotta trust me, it can happen. So there we go. We've cleared up a 5th, and now we've dealt the last row. Should be just a matter of taking out the garbage, getting things handled the way they need to be handled. Should be a smooth ride to victory here. So where's the 9? There. Actually, let's do it like this. Whoops. Do that first. There we go. All the reds are done. It's a 9 here, so we gotta... It's a 9 hidden under here, so we gotta do a useless move, unfortunately. That typically happens near the end of the game. So I won. $159 moves. Alright, so there you have it. My win percentage, 72%. Pretty good, but though I haven't played that many games since I installed Windows latest install. So then, that's going to conclude my look at Spider Solitaire. This is the last day of the Final Farewell Extravaganza. We're going to be looking at one more Windows game. It's going to be Solitaire. Better known as Klondike. Well, I guess better known as Solitaire, but it's actually Klondike. It's a particular variant of Solitaire. There are many different Solitaire games. Of course, Spider Solitaire is one of them. So, I'll see you later.